Hey, I'm Felissa Rose, and you're watching Keto and Crime.
Well. We have breaking news in the ever twisting, ever changing story of the Murdaugh family of Hampton, South Carolina. As we all know, there's been a myriad of deaths and accidents associated with this family going all the way back to 2015, where Stephen Smith was found dead by a homicide or hit and run in the middle of the road. It was about 4 miles away from Hampton, South Carolina. He, it was first ruled potential homicide because of some evidence of him still being in his shoes, some of the evidence of the injuries around his head, but then was later ruled a hit and run. And then with the recent events of the deaths of Maggie Murdaugh and her son Paul, who is also facing trial for reckless killing of a local girl in a boating accident by the name of Mallory Beach. Due to that murder, they were murdered in June at their Islington estate by an unknown shooter. The case of Stephen Smith has, of course, been reopened. In addition to that, there's the fatal accident of their longtime housekeeper, uh, Gloria Satterfield, when she suffered a fatal accident at their Islington home. In the insurance investigation of that, which was ruled an accident, only Buster Murdaugh was named as a possibly tied to that. It was also Buster that was named as the possible person that Stephen Smith was linked to sexually. So we don't know. Now, another interesting twist, Paul Bland, attorney for the Gloria Satterfield estate, and her sons have said that even though the Murdaugh estate and insurance company settled for $500,000, they have still yet to receive a penny of that. So this case just keeps getting deeper and deeper. Why haven't they received that insurance settlement? Weirdness. Either the Murdaughs are possibly bankrupt, which I doubt, or there's some other potential holdup there. Maybe instead of an accident, it's now somehow being investigated. Who knows? But there's a reason why that money hasn't been paid. I don't know. I'm just stating that the money hasn't been paid, and I find that very strange because that settlement was from 2018, as I recall. So more than enough time for the red tape of insurance to go through. So I don't know what's going on there, why that hasn't been paid. But, and of course, now with the murders of Maggie and Paul, we now see Alex, who just a couple of weeks ago was shot in the head by a very superficial wound, and police were investigating that. And now, today, in fact, yesterday, breaking news, somebody has been arrested in conjunction with that. Let's see where these twists and turns are going to take us. Have not watched this yet.
Breaking news from overnight, an arrest in connection to the roadside attack of Alex Murdaugh. Well, our Shannon Royster walks us through the new developments.
South Carolina authorities say they took 61-year-old Curtis Edward Smith into custody Tuesday. SLED says Alex Murdaugh told Smith to shoot and kill him. They say Murdaugh admitted to the scheme Monday, so Murdaugh's son could collect a $10 million life insurance 30 in the afternoon to report.
Well, the plot certainly deepens. So now we have both an assailant that was kind of contracted with an assisted suicide and evidently a confession to SLED, which stands for South Carolina Law Enforcement Division. It's kind of like their state Bureau of Investigation. Like in Tennessee, we have the TBI. That he did set this up to take his life so that his son, Buster, could collect $10 million in life insurance. Now, this comes after all the previous deaths we've talked about, plus him being let go or resigning from the Long family law firm that has been in existence since the early 1900s for over $1 million in embezzlement. Also, recent allegations have come to light that his wife, Maggie, had hired a forensic accountant. Now, if you don't know what a forensic accountant is, there's somebody that basically resurrects dead books and can really get down to the heart of it. I did an interview with my friend Van, who's a forensic accountant that has investigated several white-collar crimes. I'll link that above if you want to hear exactly what a forensic accountant does. Very interesting there. And so the plot thickens. Why would she hire a forensic accountant? I think potentially there was something brewing there. Don't know for sure. Can only state the facts. But this ever thickens. Let's continue listening to this.
That he had been shot on the side of a road. A family spokesperson said Murdaugh pulled off due to a low tire light, that a male driver in a blue pickup truck drove past him and then came back, asking if he was having car trouble, and that's when he was shot. He was airlifted to a hospital in Savannah with what authorities say was a superficial gunshot wound to the head. But the incident report released by the Hampton County Sheriff's Office initially checking the box, no visible injuries.
Something to be said if a gunshot really isn't visible to first responders. Just how superficial it probably was.
Murdaugh's team pushed back. They released new details about his injuries, saying he had entry and exit wounds, and his skull had been fractured.
Show us the x-rays. Show us the x-rays.
Leading authorities to correct that report, now saying there were visible injuries. Murdaugh's family has been the focus of national attention since the brutal, unsolved murders of his wife, Maggie, and 22-year-old son, Paul, this past June.
Are they breathing? No, ma'am.
So, as I said, plot thickens. Now we have forensic accountants. Maggie evidently knew something was going on with money. We have him resigning from his law firm or being fired from his law firm for potential embezzlement over $1 million. We have now Paul Brand, the attorney for the Gloria Satterfield estate, saying they have not been paid their $500,000. And now him trying to, evidently, according to this, orchestrate his own death that would not have been ruled suicide, because as you know, most insurance companies will not pay on a suicide, so that his son could get $10 million. Wow. I've got a lot of theories circulating around in my head. I have no proof for any of them, so I'll just sit on them. But the plot thickens.
My wife and my son. And what is your name? My name is Alex Murdaugh. Please hurry. Neither one of them's moving.
Murdaugh called 911 after finding their bodies, both shot multiple times near the family's hunting lodge. His brothers spoke to ABC News at the time, saying their brother is searching for answers.
Is willing and still is willing to do anything that's asked of him. He wants this solved.
Just one day before Alex Murdaugh said he was shot, the law firm that his family spent decades building announced it had reported to law enforcement and the state bar that Alec had stolen money from the firm.
Well, he was probably on his way to being disbarred too. We have to remember that. And I have often said that I probably pronounced their name all wrong. I've heard it pronounced Murdaugh and Murdaugh. So I've been pronouncing it phonetically. Now that I heard Alex say it, I will try to remember to pronounce it Murdaugh.
South Carolina Supreme Court suspended his license.
As our Shannon Royster reporting, here's another look now at the suspect. Police say this is Curtis Smith, and he's also facing weapon and drug charges.
Well, assisted suicide, I suppose. I guess we'll just have to see how this unfolds, but I did want to bring you this information as quickly as I got it. Anyway, with that being said, I will continue to follow this case. I will do another summary of it in another week or two when more of this information comes out and I have more facts to pin together. But with that being said, until next time, Keto and Crime out. Wow.